Alright, so I have a cluster here, and one of the motors here, the fuel motor, actually doesn't work. And so I was pinning it out, and what I did on the back side of the board here is I went ahead and put this, that's hard to see, white out here on this pin, because this is the pin that I found that looks to be bad. So I do get continuity, grabbing it here from the back of the board. So I get, I'm on the pin on the back, and then on the front here I'm coming to the stepper driver. Okay, so I get continuity there, but also, so it looks like the third pin on the bottom, first pin on the bottom, and also the pin on the top. Every other one, you know, just goes to one pin on the stepper driver. I guess the next step, I've tried swapping the motor. The next step is I can try pulling the motor out completely in case the windings or something are causing it to get continuity. But I think this stepper driver might just be bad, and it's gotten continuity between multiple pins there. So that's going to be my next step. I'll go ahead and pull the motor itself and see, do the same test and see where I get continuity on the driver here. Okay, so the stepper motor is removed here. I'm just going to check. Alright, so we have continuity there. It's a good sign. I'm going to try and get this again. Sorry if the camera's not going to be able to pick this up too well, since that pin is gone from the back of the motor. It's kind of hard. I left a good bit of solder on the back so I could try and get my meter on that. Okay, still continuity up top. Still on the bottom. Yeah, same pins. So I get continuity without the motor installed, as you can see. In the first pin here, the third pin here, and the first pin up here. So same results. I'll check with my scope to see if any of the foil traces are crossing, but I just don't see that as a likely thing. I already used my scope to look at the legs of the pins, you know, here on this X12 driver, and I didn't see any, you know, bridge solder joints or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure this is just bad. Fortunately, I threw away all my motors, so I don't have all my boards when I moved, so I don't have, you know, another one of these chips, and so I'll just have to find one. Hopefully I can get one from like a Trailblazer or something, since they're cheaper, and just yank one of those stepper drivers off and replace this one. So pretty sure that's the issue. Gets that, you know, normal issue that you see when something wrong with the stepper driver or something wrong with the traces, you know, just kind of moving back and forth on this fuel gauge. So hopefully when I get it, a junk board, I can fix this thing, but pretty sure that's the problem right there. Okay, so I went ahead and removed the X12 stepper driver, and as I was doing that, I noticed that one of the pads here on the bottom left is actually missing. So initially what I did is I removed the left stepper driver, and my plan was to move it over to the right location where the right stepper driver is because the right stepper driver seemed to be failing. And upon removal of the right stepper driver, I found that the foil was missing. I couldn't find that I did this damage, and like I said, this board is been repaired before myself, so possibly somebody did this on a prior repair. But I'm basically tracing the path here to find out where I can get continuity on the board, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a jumper wire. So that's my plan. Alright, well this one's been an interesting one. Of course it was worked on prior, and I got it initially, wouldn't power on at all, fixed the power on issues. After I fixed the power issues with it, replaced the motors with X27s, all of them seemed fine except for this one. I had to pull off this X12, and I moved it over here, but when I pulled this X12 off, and see if the camera focuses, it pulled one of the pads off, the second one on the left here, off the actual board. So I had to scrape away the PCB a little, and then I found out that, hey, that actually connects continuity over here to the second pin. I have this microscope here that I'm using, but I had to basically run a jumper so those two are in the circuit again. So I'll go ahead and move the needles. So we'll see, and this white one's just a spare one I had, but I'll go ahead and power it up. So they move, but they have like a lag at setting the point of where they're supposed to be. I mean, they look like they work. They sweep fine now finally, but there might be something else going on with the board. Again, I don't have this stepper motor on, stepper driver. It's sitting right here on the bench. I think that one was bad because I was getting continuity on multiple pins, but now I'm second guessing. I'm wondering if maybe just that pad was lifted the whole time. But otherwise it looks to be working as it should. So I just need to get, I'll try taking this X12, I guess, and putting it back over here and see if I can get the rest of the stepper motors working and go from there. But yeah, that was an interesting one for sure.